So this is what my Instagram looks like this week. I normally do 9 tiles, but I didn't quite get there this week because it was pretty frustrating. I'll admit it. I had a lot of trouble with the figures. I wanted to do figures because I felt like if I left it for too much longer, I was going to get too rusty with it. And it did show me this week what I need to work on, so I am grateful for that. I also did it in pencil because I ran out of fixative or hairspray for the charcoal, so most of these are in pencil or watercolour pencil. The first one is referenced from Pinterest. It was alright. I wanted to do more than figures in space, so I tried to put it in with a background, but I had trouble with the values of the background. It was too similar to the figure at first, so I tried to lighten it. This is obviously something I'm going to have to work on moving forward. But it was an alright start to the week. I think, like I said, I need to work on my anatomy. I want to be able to put more into it. And I did try with this one to put more anatomy in, but it was too messy. I think this is where my frustration started for the week. I wasn't even supposed to draw the face, so it was supposed to be all in shadow, but for some reason I focused on it and it took away the focus on what I actually wanted to do for it, so I'll need to work on that this week too. Now, because of the messiness of this one, the next one I tried to make it a little bit tidier, a little bit neater, and I think it turned out okay. I mean, obviously I still need to work on the anatomy, but I didn't make a huge mess like the last one, so I was a little bit more light-handed with my shading. And the reference from this was from Figure Drawing Reference, which was a great photo to work from, and I actually really enjoyed it. But the only thing was that it's a figure in space, which is something that I wanted to move away from. And also with this one's from Body to Study, and it was a really nice photo. It had great lighting, and I enjoyed doing this. It was watercolour on printer paper, which buckled a lot and kind of disintegrated there in the end where I tried to fix some mistakes. So you can only go over mistakes so many times on this paper before it just goes away. And this next one was again just a figure in space, which is what I was trying to get away from, but because I had so much trouble and frustration this week, it's just a simple figure. I had trouble fitting it on the page because her arms are up in the air like that, and the pose is a little bit stiff, so I think gesture drawing would fix that a little bit. I need to get back into a more gesture drawing, and I will do that this week. So then I did do a charcoal piece on Friday. It's not fixed, so it may still smudge around if I touched it. But I used vine charcoal, and I really like vine charcoal because of how malleable it is. You can move it around, and I actually really enjoyed that process and ended up with using charcoal pencils after I'd put in the initial shapes with the vine charcoal, and it was a nice relaxing drawing to do. This next one was an absolute disaster. I couldn't do the face, I couldn't get the head right, I don't know what was going on. I tried to, because I didn't want to do the figures in space, I tried to put in a background, but that didn't work. It just all kind of blends, and overall I think this piece is a failure, and it's in here because it is something that I want to learn from, so it's brought to light these issues that I'm having. So this is the one I scanned it before I threw it in the bin. This is actually screwed up and sitting in the bin at the moment. I don't know what went wrong. I just couldn't get anything right, and it was an absolute disaster. The more I worked on it, the more frustrated I actually got. So this isn't on my Instagram, but I did find the file before I threw it in the trash, so there it is. But I didn't want to finish the day on a bad note, so I went back and did this. It's a little bit more simple. It had simple shadows, light and shadow, and it turned out a lot better, and I was happier for finishing the night with this sketch. Again, anatomy is something that I will have to work on this week, but it's altogether I'm pretty happy with this particular sketch, the way that it came out, and I love the pose. It was great. And this was the last one for the week. Again, I would say that this one is a failure. The values are just too bland. I need to work on that. The face, the anatomy, it all needs work. So that's what I will actually be focusing on this week. And hopefully at the end of this coming week, I will have something better to show for it. I've got to say, learning art isn't always pretty. There's a lot of these failures, but they are there for a purpose, and they are there to learn from, and that's what I will be doing. So I hope to check in with you. Well, I'll check in with myself, but I hope... What am I saying? Well, we'll just see what comes up next week. Thanks for watching.